Welcome again to Tuntum Network, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Cyrus. Critical times require critical thinking. And at this point, I think Honorable Alan Kyeremanten has done his own thinking and has come to a critical decision, which I think is the best for himself. And I'll tell you this, it is his fault, and I'm not sorry for him. The reasons I'm going to give you, and I hope you stay along with me through this whole episode. This is the man, all right, ladies and gentlemen, and I strongly believe a new dawn of politics is about to hit this nation. Things are about to shake up and become as totally different from how it has always been, and it's starting from the party that is in power. This is not going to stay only here, but I believe strongly it's going to spread across all the parties we have in this country. This is the man, ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Kyeremanten. He chose to be a part of a system. This is why I am not sorry for him. He chose to be a part of a system that has supported his ministerial relevance. It has projected his ministerial relevance for so many years, but at the same time, hurting his presidential ambition. It was a decision, he chose it, and today the same thing has come back to bite him. He has always been a member of cabinet, a position that many people within the party has always envied. He has always been busy, but you can say that for a lot of MPP strongmen and women who have also equally supported the party with their money, their resources, and their time over the years. He has benefited from the party, and at this point, he has chosen to bow out. Today, the same system that he helped build has rejected him. On the surface, it looks as if it was a mafia tactic or some form of unfair exit that was planned against him, which has totally worked. But this is what you have to learn as a politician, and this advice is for everybody. Politics is a jungle. It doesn't matter if it is within your own party. It is a jungle. And at every point, you should figure out ways to maintain your territory, protect your territory, your interest. I don't want to get ahead of him. So read with me and let's break down the reasons why he had to bow out from his own press statement. Let's go. This is a letter dated 5th November 2023 from the office of Honorable Alan John Kyeremanten, and it's a press statement by Honorable Alan Kyeremanten himself. I read, on Sunday, the 27th of August 2023, I issued a public statement which made reference to the selection and shortlisting of presidential aspirants by the Special Electoral College convened by the New Patriotic Party on the 26th of August 2028. After having carefully analyzed the results of the said elections, it is absolutely clear to me from events leading to, during, and after the elections that the Special Delegates Conference was strategically and tactically skewed in favor of one particular person. The pronouncements made by some leading members of our party, both before and after the elections, also lend weight to my observation. The level of intimidation of varying intensity, directly and indirectly unleashed on a significant number of delegates at various voting centers across the 16 regions, is unprecedented in the history of our party. In addition, the fact that my polling agent in the Northeast region has suffered severe damage to his eyesight, arising from his bold and courageous effort to ensure compliance with the very rules and regulations for the conduct of the elections as approved by Presidential Electoral Committee, will forever remain a dark spot on the history of internal elections within the party. This incident and various acts of violence and collusion reported in other voting centers are appalling, unconscionable, reported in other voting centers are appalling, unconscionable, and despicable. I am committed to and value the safety of those who work with me and for me, and I will always fight for their interests. The question I keep asking myself is this: how did we get here as a party in the first place? And how far are we prepared to tread on this dangerous path to self-destruction? Regrettably, I am not convinced that the circumstances that I have referred to earlier will not persist or even be escalated in the next round of elections, for which balloting is scheduled for Wednesday, 6th of September 2023. In light of the foregoing, I wish to confirm that I am honorably withdrawing from the process that will lead to the presidential primaries to be held on the 4th of November 2023. In the next upcoming weeks, I will provide an indication of the role that I will play in politics in Ghana after consultations with my family and other well-wishers, various stakeholders, and interest groups. I wish all the other aspirants well as they continue on their journey. I also wish to use this opportunity to express my profound gratitude once again to my family, the Alan for President campaign team, and all my teaming supporters in Ghana and from around the world who have supported me in diverse ways over the years. Please be assured that the battle is still the Lord's, and that those who wait upon the Lord shall have their strength renewed. God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. Signed, Honorable Alan Kyeremanten. Well, this is a well thought through and written letter, which also feeds into the narrative of what Honorable Kennedy Japan was saying on the day of the election.
President Akufo, member will show down. Vice President, member will show down. So, Mama chasing me agent. I'm not going to shut them. What do you embassy? What do you embassy? Yes, me challenge President Akufo anytime.
But let's summarize the whole statement, shall we? The entire statement starts with a complaint letter and then an exit announcement and an appreciation message. What did he complain about? That is my first question. What did he actually complain about? He complained that the Super Delegates Conference was strategically and tactically skewed in favor of one particular aspirant. And those are his own words. And he's unconvinced that this skewing situation would stop. He's actually sure that it's going to be escalated in the main elections that are coming on November 4th. But my question is, how did he get to this conclusion? How did he come to the point where he recognized that the whole system is skewed towards projecting one person? When I read through the letter, three things came out. The first one is this. He observed this through pronouncements made by some leading members of his own party, meaning that Honorable Kojo Kyeremanten all this while has been hearing things being said at the top about how they are going to work towards making one person the leader of the party and not necessarily give everybody the free, and fair election that we all want. When did he hear this? When did he realize that the system, the establishment, is working towards that direction? Was it recent, or has it always been like this? Then you go on to the second point on how he came to this conclusion. He says the direct and indirect intimidation tactics that was unleashed on significant numbers of delegates across the region. So what he's trying to say is there is a significant number of delegates across the regions who have suffered as a result of intimidation tactics being projected by this same group at the top who is projecting one person to deny them of either casting their ballots or coming out to even experience the whole election process. And then the third point that I see as his reason of observing this situation is the non-compliance with proper election procedures that caused one of his delegates to lose eyesight as he objected to how things were being done. Well, This is not the first time, and I'm not sure this is going to be the last time. These are things that are frequent with elections in Ghana. But at this point, it is totally clear. I mean, you don't have to be a political analyst or some PhD holder in politics to see that the party, the MPP party, sort of the people at the top have sort of made their decision. And this decision has nothing to do with what the grassroots people want or what the delegates even want for that matter. It appears they have all decided on who they want to have as the leader of the party and present to the delegates and the grassroots people, for which they would expect them to accept and support this person. But that is very dangerous. And I thought they would have learned their lesson from what happened to John Boadu in the elections that happened recently, where the establishment was perceived to be supporting him, and at the end of the day, the delegates had their way. I foresee the same thing happening here, since they didn't learn their first lesson. But I'll tell you this as a matter of fact. I strongly believe that in this upcoming election of the MPP party, money will not win. Money will not win. Intimidation will not win, because people are dissatisfied and disappointed. People are going to vote based on track records, based on how much they value what you say, how much they believe in the things that you say, based on what you did with what you said previously. That is what I believe strongly that is going to happen. People are going to take monies. Indeed, people will take the monies. But at the end of the day, they will do what they will do, and nothing will stop that. It has happened before, and nothing will change. This is going to be the biggest shock in the history of internal elections in the NPP. Because if you go around the town today in Accra, I don't know for the other regions, the other 15 regions, but in Accra, in the trotros, in the taxis, there's a lot of conversation going on about one particular person. And that person is not the establishment person. It is Honorable Kennedy Ejapon, the underdog. It appears the underdog is gaining momentum and becoming more popular down there. And they see it from the upstairs, and it's scary to them. Very scary to them. But all in all, I feel it is the fault of Honorable Alan Kyeremanten. I blame nobody else but himself. And I have one reason to blame him. I understand what everybody else is saying from 2008 and all that politics that went on. But this is my observation for one major reason why it is his fault for what is happening to him now. When the MPP won their second term in 2020, I thought that was the best exit time for him, and he stayed on. That was the time he should have resigned and at that point pursued and projected his personal characters to Ghanaians and to the party. That was the time he should have projected himself, because even till today, when he speaks on radio or on TV and I'm not watching, I cannot make out his voice from the radio. Unlike other people in politics, you just wake up and you know that is the person speaking. So I thought he was going to leave the party when they won the second term, but he stayed on. It would have been the right thing for him to do, and this is the reason why. At that time, the currency of this country, the economy, was not as deplorable as it is now. And so he would have had a reason to say, it didn't happen when I was there. You know, I could have done something about it. But he stayed on till the whole ship went down. And at this point, there is nothing he can tell anybody. And that same thing is going to work against Dr. Bawumia, because the expectation people had over him and the way things have gone, when he presents himself to delegates, I mean, he will have to come up with a real reason why he is there, and things went down and he could do nothing about it. Everything he said turned upside down, with the currency, with the US dollar and all that, with inflation, with prices of goods and services and all that. He will have to come up with a real reason that will resonate with people in the party in order to vote for him. But the story of Honorable Alan Kyeremanten should go into the books. It should be one of the stories that we all take notes from. Let me read what I wrote down so that you can catch the whole thing. Never compromise when you have the opportunity to win a political position or any other position for that matter. In other words, never let money, promises of hope for tomorrow, or another day make you give up or give in on what you can fight and get today. This is what I'm trying to say. Whenever you have the opportunity, based on the resources and the skill set you have today, to fight and get something today, never push it to tomorrow. Don't anybody discourage you or make you give up on getting it today and say, I'll do it tomorrow. Because you never know how your health will even be tomorrow. You never know how your finances will be tomorrow. You never know the kind of competition you'll be facing tomorrow. If you have any plans of doing anything for yourself, whether in politics or in your private life, the time is now and not tomorrow. And this advice goes to all my friends and colleagues who have plans on getting on YouTube or on social media to project whatever they want to do. The time for planning and putting things in order before you start is long gone. The time is now for you to hit that record button and start rolling. Remember, tomorrow is not guaranteed. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. God, in his own wisdom, is telling us to make hay whilst the sun shines. He wants us now, when we are still young and youthful and full of energy, and not tomorrow. I hope we have all learned a lesson from this. Whether for good or for evil, it has happened and he has left the competition. And at this point, we have Dr. Baumia and Ken Ejapon as the main contenders for this position. It's going to be a banter. It's going to be a real showdown. Everybody is on the lookout for it. Delegates are fired up. They are all waiting. Ghanaians are looking on. Because at the end of the day, whoever they will present as their flag bearer, Ghanaians will have to decide on the person based on the person's merit. So I hope they are making the right decisions, because it will come down to that point. God bless you for being a part of this. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment if you have to. Thank you so much for being a part of my journey. Until I come your way again, it's bye-bye for now.